Chase Center in Milwaukee. They're all set for the regular season finale in the Big East as the Creighton Blue Jays are in town to take on the Marquette Golden Eagles. It is senior day here for Marquette, and 3 seniors were honored moments ago: Juwan Johnson, Luke Fisher, and Creighton Reinhardt. We said this is the final day of the regular season, so here are the most up-to-date standings in Big East play. Villanova has finished the regular season at 15-3. Providence got a big win. They're at 10-8. The middle of the pack, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's up for grabs right now in the Big East. And hello to everybody. Justin Kutcher alongside the Nebraska Sportscaster of the Year, Nick Ba. And Nick, this being the last day, there is still a lot to play for these two teams.
Yeah, Marquette finds themselves on the bubble according to most bracketologists, but a win today would give them their 7th top 50 win. Going to be really hard to leave a team out with 7 top 50 wins. And for Creighton, could win sole place of 3rd place in the Big East, and you want to build a little momentum before you head to the Big East tournament. All
right, let's take a look at our starting lineup today, brought to you by the Jeep Grand Cherokee. For Creighton, Marcus Foster needs 15 points to finish the year as the team's leading scorer in the conference. And for Marquette, it's senior day. Juwan Johnson, Luke Fisher in the lineup. No Creighton Reinhardt. He asked Steve Wojciechowski if he could remain coming off the bench. Our officials: Pat Driscoll, Tim Clougherty, and Wally Ratecki. As we are all set for some basketball here, and there is Creighton Reinhardt. He said, you know what, Coach, I'm comfortable. I've got a good rhythm coming off the bench. The team is playing well. Let's keep it that way. This is a guy who's playing for his 3rd program. He was at UNLV, then USC, now here at Marquette. I think it's pretty cool that he went to Wojo and said, no, Coach, I don't want to be starting today. I want to come off the bench. It'll be Justin Patton jumping center against Luke Fisher, and it is controlled here by the Blue Jays. Isaiah Zierden gets the start. He'll run the point here for Creighton.
Yeah, both teams take and make a lot of threes, but it might be which big guy has more of an impact on the game that could decide this thing, with Patton or Fisher.
Well, there's Justin Patton, the big guy for Creighton, with the first bucket of the game. That is a dunk, his 64th dunk of the year.
And Justin, you and I had the first matchup between Creighton and Marquette, and Patton got in foul trouble, never got into a rhythm. It's good to see him get an early basket in this contest.
That was a 102-94 victory by Marquette as Marcus Howard hits the runner off the glass. Marcus Howard, what a story he has turned into. This is a freshman who is averaging in conference play over 15 points per game.
Finally turned 18. Turned 18 on Friday. But you see, he
can vote.
Yeah, he can vote. Can do a lot of things now, but he can always score.
Here comes Howard off the turnover. Pull up for 3. Looks like he got blocked by Foster. And now in transition, it is Foster for 3. Short, front rims it. Juwan Johnson with the rebound.
Steve Wojciechowski told us before the game that transition defense is going to be crucial for the Golden Eagles. Creighton will get out and run. So you got to have 5 white jerseys screaming back and matched up.
There's Fisher, and he got fouled. That foul's on Cole Huff, his first. The head coach for the Blue Jays is Greg McDermott in his 7th year. 1 win away from tying Arthur A. Schobinger for 2nd all-time at Creighton. And then he'll trail only 1 man, Dana Altman, for most career wins as the head coach of the Blue Jays.
He's been dealt a tough hand here this season. Whenever you lose your floor general, your playmaker, your point guard halfway through the season. And to be honest with you, here we are at the end of the year. I don't know if that point guard situation is any more clear than it was in mid-January when the injury occurred.
The first game that Creighton played post Maurice Watson going down the torn ACL was against these Marquette Golden Eagles. And again, it was a 102-94 loss back on January 21st. Patton against Fisher, trying to back him down. Goes to the left. It's short. Fisher with a rebound. And that's one of the areas of the game that's not really a comfort zone right now for Patton, especially against a big guy like Fisher.
And much better at pick and rolls, catching lobs, offensive rebounds.
Johnson for 3. Got it.
That's what they do, Justin. They spread the floor, they set on-ball screens, and when Fisher rolls to the basket, it's a pick-your-poison situation. You're going to help on the roll, you're going to stay attached to the shooters, and they're making good decisions.
Rousey jumps the passing lane. Rousey throws it up, no. Johnson with the rebound, the putback, but Rousey stepped on the baseline. Excuse me, Johnson stepped on the baseline. And it will be Creighton basketball. Checking in is Zach Hansen as we look at Steve Wojciechowski in his 3rd season as the head coach for Marquette, trying to get this team to the NCAA tournament. Like you said, right now, he still feels like they're on the bubble. A lot of bracketologists think they're in, but a win here today
would seal it, right?
It's the cause.
Yeah, I think they're in. I mean, 6 top 50 wins is a ton. And one over Villanova.
Another turnover here. Hauser puts on the floor. Good ball movement. Johnson for 3. Got it. A couple of threes here for Juwan Johnson to open the game.
And he's the one guy that's not necessarily just a lights-out three-point shooter, but he's capable, and he's already got 2.
Another block here on a three-point attempt. Johnson, a little hesitation. Off the glass. 11-0 run for Marquette. Timeout by Creighton. Our keys to success, sponsored by SoFi, offering smart solutions to help you reach your financial goals.
Well, for Creighton, they're going to have to defend the three-point line. Marquette, fantastic from beyond the arc. They've already knocked down 2 triples. And for Marquette, I think that guy, Luke Fisher, needs to put his fingerprints on this game to balance the perimeter attack. As you see, Juwan Johnson already on senior day, making it a memorable day. Let one fly, a couple feet from beyond the arc. When you got the rhythm, teams will run you off the three-point line, and he's going to the rack off the window for 2. So he's already off to a good start.
He has the last 8 points for Marquette, part of this 11-0 run. 11-2 they lead as Davion Mintz has entered the game. Foster kick out, Huff corner 3, and Huff's got it. These 2 teams, that's going to be a 2 actually for Huff, not a 3, but these 2 teams, they can shoot the basketball.
Yeah, they're really similar. The difference is probably Rousey and Howard are guys that can knock down shots off of on-ball screens, but they're built very similar.
Foster forced that turnover, the reach around. Huff to the hoop, hangs, no, the follow dunk by Zach Hansen.
Big response as Creighton was on the ropes, get a timeout. Back-to-back baskets for Creighton.
Howard finding Fisher. Fisher off the glass, able to put it in.
Yeah, Steve Wojciechowski, he's your most important player down the stretch. He immediately said Luke Fisher, and he has to provide that post presence to really give teams that pick your poison situation.
Foster the fadeaway, no. Rousey with the rebound. Hansen thought maybe there was a push-off, no call. Early shooting Marquette 5 of 7, and now a foul will be called here against Hansen, and that will lead us to a timeout.
Creighton active defensively, making defense turn it into offense with a little putback from Zach Hansen.
Big East College Hoops on FS2 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Well, we talked about this back on January 24th, one of the biggest upsets of the season. Marquette shocking Villanova. The Wildcats had chances to tie the game with 11 seconds left, but Marquette hung on. 74-72, the biggest win in a long time for Marquette. It was pandemonium. They rushed the floor, and that leads to this, Nick Baugh. Teams on the bubble in Big East.
Well, we talked about Marquette. I think they're in because of that 6-6 against the top 50. One of those being against, as we just showed you, Villanova. Xavier's a team that's interesting to me. Only 3 top 50 wins, and they've been going in the wrong direction. Having lost 6 in a row now since the Edmund Sumner injury. A couple games, Blewett was banged up. I think Xavier's going to be a really interesting team for the committee to analyze.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, if you look at all those teams, I think the team that's really on the bubble the most is Xavier.
I agree. I think Providence has really done a good job in the past month of picking up some big wins. You know, Butler, Xavier, Creighton.
Hauser for three, knocks it down.
Justin, they got so many shooters, and you have to run them off the three-point line. You can't allow them to just catch the ball in rhythm and let it rip.
They shoot 42.8% from three. That's first in the nation. In the first meeting between these teams, they shot at 50% from three-point land. Kyrie Thomas with a pretty turnaround. A couple of players entered out of the timeout. Matt Helt came in, as did Dwayne Wilson for Marquette. Also, Creighton Reinhardt. Deep three for Howard. In and out for the nation's leading three-point shooter.
But you see, he only needs a half an inch. And if he catches it and he can raise up, he's doing it.
Mintz looking down for Hansen. He gets doubled. Kick out. Huff for three over Hauser. Puts it in. Cole Huff. He shoots it almost 47% from three-point land.
It is crucial for Creighton to get production from Huff and Hegner to space the floor.
Wilson got it blocked, goes right to Helt, and he puts it in and a foul. The foul is called against.
Might have gotten Davion Mintz.
Yes.
With a putback from Helt. Good attack. And
It's against Hansen. Number two against Hansen.
That's big. I mean, because Hansen is important today because he's the best low post defender trying to guard Luke Fisher. And you can't come with double teams, Justin, because Marquette's too good of a shooting team. But now Patton's going to have to do a good job. You get a little relief against Helt, who's not as good offensively.
Up a corner three, it's short, and the rebound for Howard. 18-11, Marquette leading. Just about 6 minutes into this one. Wilson. Howard for three. Doesn't get the roll, which is shocking because based on stats, you'd expect him to hit. Patton fumbles the pass, out of bounds, turnover for the Blue Jays, and here comes Zierden. And he's going to replace Marcus Foster. Rousey comes in, replacing Marcus Howard.
Creighton's dodged 2 bullets and letting Howard get 2 clean looks from 3, and they were soft off the iron, but didn't go down.
Juwan Johnson also back in for Marquette. In the corner for three, looking for his third. No, Justin Patton with a good rebound, but turns it over. Rousey for three. Got it. A careless outlet pass leads to 3 points for Marquette.
Got amazing range. Lil Rousey can let it fly from anywhere.
Thomas, the floater. Pretty finish by Kyrie Thomas. His last game, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists against St. John's on Tuesday. Rouse, a little hesitation, keeps that dribble going. Wilson passes up the three, little bounce pass, good ball movement. Rousey, the pull-up jumper, an air ball. Mintz has it poked away right to Zierden. Zierden for three, long, and the rebound for Johnson. Johnson, the spin move, puts it up and gets the roll. 10 points early on for Juwan Johnson.
Well, it looks like a double foul potentially here with Rousey and Zierden.
Yep, a double foul is exactly the call.
Interesting. You don't see that very much. 2 guys just running the floor, getting tangled up.
Martin Krompel checks in for the first time, as does Toby Hegner for Creighton.
See right there, take a look at them. They're running down the floor, just a little chest bump, a little extracurricular, and you get a double foul.
Thomas attacking the hoop off the glass. Kyrie Thomas, a couple of pretty moves early on here. for the Blue Jays. He's got 6 points.
I think he's the most improved player in the conference. When you think about last year, he was put on the bench for the majority of conference play. Now he's a guy that has really flourished.
Rousey can't hit the pull-up jumper from the free throw line. Hegner with a rebound. 8-point lead here for Marquette. Thomas skip pass. Hegner corner three. Got it. Toby Hegner, who can shoot it. Shoots it at 45% from three-point land. Hits the rainbow three, and all of a sudden, it's a 5-point lead.
No lead's going to be safe in a game like this because both teams can knock down threes in a hurry.
Fisher, good job using the fake. Got his man up in the air, kept his balance. Davion Mintz being hounded. Thomas fouled by Juwan Johnson, and that'll lead us to a break. Well, we thought we'd see some scoring early on. That's exactly what we've seen.
Hey, look at Rousey kind of laying in the weeds like a free safety, gets the pick, and settles for the triple from beyond the arc. And then Luke Fisher, look at the hard roll, can't help because of the shooters. And Fisher, little shot fake layup. Marquette up 7 early.
Welcome back to Big East College Hoops on FS2, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. 25-18, Marquette leading the Creighton Blue Jays. And let's go inside the huddle with Greg McDermott and Creighton.
To get him to collapse. Then we can get it moving, then you got to go set another one. All right? When he rolls, somebody's standing right there. That's why Toby got the wide open three. But don't come out of it and make the pass without a pass fake. If you pass fake to Teeny, everybody's going to go towards it, and now execute that skip pass. All right?
It's important. Ball fake's going to manipulate the defense and be able to find shooters from beyond the arc. As you see, Creighton's kind of crawled back into this game. A little flurry from Marquette.
A look at the tournament resume for this Blue Jays squad. And Nick, you and I were talking about this before the game. This is one of the more interesting resumes or cases for the committee.
Yeah, I mean, 18-1 with Maurice Watson. Haven't been great without Maurice Watson. So where do you draw the line?
Whew. Well, that's pretty. Martin Krompel.
Drawn up a nice little play there for Martin Krompel, who had 4 dunks in their last game against St. John's. So he's a redshirt freshman needing to play because of the foul trouble with Zach Hansen.
Fisher with the dunk. 7 points early on for Luke Fisher. Back to what you're saying about Maurice Watson and this Creighton team. A different squad without him. They're not the 18-1 team they were before him. And so how do you judge who they are?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, at some point, what they did with Maurice Watson has to matter, but where do you draw that line on when, okay, this matters, but that doesn't? And so it'll be really fascinating to see what the committee does with teams like Creighton and even a team like Xavier.
To the hoop and a foul. Keaton Reinhart will go to the free throw line. Toby Hegner called for the foul.
Always important at a baseline out of bounds. You're going to see a little wraparound screen into here, and then you're going to screen Martin Krompel to come right to the front of the rim. So here comes Foster, there comes Zierden, right to the front of the rim for the lob. Good action from Greg McDermott. Out of the timeout for a baseline out of bounds dunk.
Reinhart at the line for 2. Makes the first 15th foul against the Blue Jays as Ronnie Harrell Jr. checks in for the first time, replacing Davion Mintz. Harrell, he saw 10 minutes in the game on Tuesday. That was the most time he'd seen in over a month since January 16th at Xavier.
He only averages about 6-7 minutes a game, so it's hard to call a guy that doesn't play very much an X factor, but I do believe he could be kind of an X factor for Creighton down the stretch just because he's 6'7" with some ball handling ability, and with the point guard situation being a little bit murky right now, Ronnie Harrell could be really important for Creighton.
Foster, pull up for 3. Had a hand in the face. There's Harrell picking up the loose ball and putting it in. That's why he's the Nebraska Sportscaster of the Year.
But at 6'7", he's a matchup problem at playing the guard spot right now because he's got a size advantage.
Reinhart for 3. Got it.
is the guy that's a nightmare matchup for Creighton. Because when you put Reinhardt at the 4, he's got a speed and quickness advantage on Hegner and Huff.
Great bounce pass for Krompel from Foster, and that's something Foster has done so well recently, been a facilitator.
He's really had to elevate his passing game in the absence of Maurice Watson. Both him and Kyrie Thomas have done a fantastic job of becoming more facilitators on top of being playmakers.
A foul against Krompel, that'll be the team's 6th. Cole Huff will come in, and he's going to replace Hegner.
You see there, you get a silly foul and a hedge, but that's Rousey, and so you can't let him come off unimpeded, even though he's about 38 feet from the basket, because he will tee it up if he gets around the corner and has some space.
Now Howard comes in for Rousey, drops it off. There's that dangerous guy you said, Reinhardt, who's got 7 off the bench. He had 21 in the first meeting for Marquette against Creighton.
Yeah, we talked about it, but doesn't it illustrate where Reinhardt's at mentally by turning down the starting job today? Absolutely. I think it tells you that he is all in on the team right now.
Zierda knocks down to 3. 5-point lead for Marquette. Under 9 to play here in the opening half. Johnson tries from behind the back, turns it over. Huff, he's got to be careful here with the dribble. Foster. And a kick by Johnson. It will stay Blue Jays basketball as Justin Patton comes back in.
Both teams starting to get loose offensively. Look at the quick first step for Reinhardt to get around Cole Huff to go to the opposite side to lay it in. And a good job with an extra pass from Ronnie Harrell. Zierden ready to shoot, but it all starts with the hard slip from Martin Krompel to collapse the defense and create the scrim.
Both teams shooting 62% from the floor. If you like defense, look away.
Yeah, both these teams very offensive-minded.
Nice pass for Patton underneath from Harrell, and the foul against Howard.
That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Ronnie Harrell can play, but he just needs to get over
Don't
that.
tell us, tell it to coach.
I'm sure. Hey, that's a beautiful pick and roll there, because he's a guy that grew 7 inches before his sophomore year of high school. So he was a point guard growing up. Now all of a sudden he's in this 6'7" frame, but he's got point guard skills. He just kind of needs to get over that hump, Justin. You know, where you earn your coach's trust in back-to-back games. He had a good game against St. John's, got off to a good start here, trying to put it together.
So he grew 7 inches in high school. Justin Patton grew what, like 10 inches in high school?
Yeah, grew a foot, pretty much.
It's a 6-0 Creighton run. A 2-point game with 8:20 to go.
Kyrie Thomas right now got to stay attached to Marcus Howard's body.
Difficult matchup here for Howard. The reach of Kyrie Thomas. Shot clock down to 6. Wilson. Difficult shot, puts it in. The first 2 points of the day for Dwayne Wilson, a guy who his coach said has been humbled this year, but as the season has gone on, especially as of late, has become a key contributor once again.
I just think everybody's all in on the team right now for Marquette. And that is if you're having to coach that, you're having to coach unselfishness, you're not going to win a lot of games. You just get the sense everybody in a white jersey is all about the team.
Shot clock down to 7. Patton, baseline. Against Helt, leaves it for Harrell, gets fouled, puts it up, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2 when we come back.
Pick and roll basketball big for both teams. Good hard roll from Justin Patton, good pass from Ronnie Harrell, and Patton lays it in.
All right, we go back to January 21st, the first meeting between these two teams. It was the first game that Creighton was playing without Maurice Watson Jr. They got off to a quick start, but then Creighton Reinhardt, he had 10 straight points late in the first half, and the Golden Eagles put up 102 points on the road to get the win. 7 players in double figures for Marquette in that game. A 4-point lead for Marquette here in the first half in Milwaukee as we take a look at the tournament resume for the Golden Eagles. And you and I agree.
Yeah.
They're in.
I think they're in. 6-6 in terms of quality wins. And clearly, when the committee had that mock selection of putting out the top 16 seeds, clearly they sent a message they value top 50 wins. Marquette with 6. They could get 7 here. I don't see how you leave a team with 7 top 50 wins out of the NCAA tournament. Even 6, I think they're in.
By the way, that projected seed as 8, I hate an 8 seed. I'd rather be an 11 seed than an 8
funny?
seed.
Isn't that you basically either want to be a 6, even a 7-10. I mean, you got to play a 2 seed. It's hard. But you talk about a 1 seed that would not want to see Marquette. I mean, just you talk about a team that can knock down threes, that can score. They got a guy inside in Luke Fisher that can give them consistent points in the paint. Good surge here from Creighton, though, Justin. They're on the ropes here and kind of crawl back into this thing.
3-point ball game, 7:15 to go here in the first half. Helt sets the screen. Reinhardt had it poked away. Ball is still loose. Rousey's got it. Baseball pass over. Now Reinhardt in the corner. Shot clock down to 5. Shot clock at 3. Reinhardt step back for 3. No. And the rebound pulled down by Patton. Foster. Thomas for 3. Off the back rim. And Helt gets the rebound. I like the fact there's no whistle there.
I agree. It's a 50-50 rebound. Both guys going after it.
Reinhardt short on the 2. And that time there is a good whistle. This time it's against Matt Helt. That'll be the 15th foul. And the first against Helt. Well, the biggest conference tournament in college basketball is coming to FS1. Number 2 Villanova looks to earn a number 1 NCAA tournament seed against some great teams looking to steal the Big East title and fight their way into March Madness. The Big East tournament live from Madison Square Garden. It starts Wednesday night only on FS1. Nick, you and I will be there. It is so much fun being at the world's most famous arena, the Mecca of college basketball, Mecca of basketball. It is a special place this time of year.
I can't wait. It really feels like a lot of teams surging. Marquette, Providence, of course, Nova. Butler's been playing well. It's going to be fun.
Foster for 3, no. Rebound by Hauser. 3-point lead here for Marquette. 6 minutes to play. Wilson. Wilson doesn't like to shoot the 3. Hauser does. And he knocks it down.
There's no need for Huff to help on that roll for Matt Helt. I mean, Helt's not a threat offensively. Hauser is. You have to stay attached to the shooters. Good read from Dwayne Wilson, who's been passing the ball much better over the last couple of weeks.
Huff's baseline jumper. Weak side rebound by Patton. Gets double teamed. Foster stripped on the way up. Huff gets a loose ball. And now a foul. I believe it's going to be against... Is it against Foster? It is. And Helt will be shooting free throws.
So keep an eye on Helt's roll and Huff. He gets ground. That's going to give space for Sam Hauser to knock it down. Don't need to help on that roll. Helt's not an offensive threat. Hauser's a great 3-point shooter. Good read from Dwayne Wilson. Good shot from Mr. Hauser.
The foul was the 7th foul against Creighton, the 1st against Foster. So that means 1-on-1 here for Matt Helt. Matt Helt, a guy who moved into the starting rotation a few weeks ago, had a monster game at home against St. John's 3 games ago, 15 points, 10 rebounds. When he came out of the game, had a standing ovation, a hug from his coach, Steve Wojciechowski. That was just awesome.
He's just doing all the little things. And Marquette needs that right now. They got a lot of talented offensive guys. What they need is guys that are going to play hard, screen, rebound, talk, defend. And Helt's done all those things.
Kroppel is coming to set the pick for Huff. Huff thought he was flaring for an open jumper, and instead it's a turnover.
See, I don't know how often this 5 has played with each other. Mintz, Ronnie Harrell, Martin Kroppel. So take a look at it as those 2 guys just not on the same page. And it's hard where there's just a domino effect with the injury of figuring out lineups.
Johnson, the spin, did everything but finish. Mintz trying to push it here for the Blue Jays. Has it stripped. And a reach-in foul. And this will go against Kroppel. That's his 2nd, team's 8th. And going to the free throw line is Dwayne Wilson.
Don't you think with Krompel with 2, Zach Hansen with 2, you got to start pounding it into Fisher for the final 4 minutes and 52 seconds here as Toby Hegner went out check in for Martin Krompel. He's got to get some touches down low. Fisher does.
So Marquette is 3 of 6 at the free throw line today, which is odd for them. A 78% free throw shooting team. Wilson knocks down the front end of the 1-on-1. One of the best free throw shooting teams in the country.
Got 2 90%ers in Rousey and Howard. Those guys at the end of games, they're going to be good if they're protecting a lead because they can knock down free throws if they get to the line.
A 7-1 run here for Marquette. A block by Hauser against Huff. Wilson, not a good pass. Was trying to find Fisher and didn't have the right angle for the bounce pass.
You see Hauser, not known as a vertical athlete, goes straight up. And then Fisher, even though he couldn't get a good hustle on senior day, it's the right idea from Dwayne Wilson, just pass was off target.
So Wilson goes to the bench. Marcus Howard comes back in. No field goals last 3 minutes for the Blue Jays. Thomas high off the glass for the left, doesn't get the roll, and the rebound by Hauser.
I feel like Howard's been kind of quiet in this half. He can feel it, and so you can sense him maybe starting to hunt here a little bit if he gets a look.
Again on cue.
You're just not close enough, Justin. I mean, if he can raise up, it's going up and it's going down at a crazy clip. That's the #1 3-point shooter in the country.
Thomas posting him up, offensive foul. They had it to within 3. It's back up to 11.
And see Howard gets an inch, splashes one, and then does it on the defensive end, taking a charge.
Big East College Hoops on FS2 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. A 10-1 run by Marquette has led to an 11-point lead. Other news and notes in the Big East on the final day of Big East play. #2 Villanova defeated Georgetown. Josh Hart finished with 21 points and 7 rebounds. I think people will think Conference Player of the Year. He's up for National Player of the Year. It's almost going to be unanimous.
You would assume.
Providence beat St. John's earlier, so they're going to be a 3, 4, or 5 seed. The story of our game thus far has been the three-point shooting of Marquette. Shooting over 58% from three-point.
Yeah, 5 different guys have knocked down a 3, doing a good job of sharing it. You see all those coming off an assist there. Rousey, that one coming off a steal. And then the last one from Marcus Howard from downtown. Tickles the twine. It was the key to the game for Creighton to defend the three-point line, and so far, not taking care of business.
You know, speaking with Steve Wojciechowski before the game, he said last time you guys played, shot the ball so well. What do you expect? He goes, well, you don't expect to shoot the ball that well when you play him again. And this time an offensive foul against Fisher as he pushed off. They shot the ball 60% overall, 50% from three-point line in that first meeting. So far in this game, 59.3% from the floor, 58.3% from three-point line.
So Wojo didn't know. He underestimated his guys, man. These guys are really talented offensively. When they take care of the ball and share it, they got weapons galore.
Kyrie Thomas for 3. He knocks it down. Kyrie Thomas now with 9. He leads the Blue Jays in scoring.
The guy that's been quiet has been Foster. Big East leading scorer's only got 1 made field goal, 2 points. He's obviously going to have to get involved if Creighton wants to win on the road.
Fisher against Patton with the right. Doesn't get the roll. Foster with the rebound. Zierden finding Patton, who hangs, had to adjust because of Hauser.
Good eye, Justin. That was all Hauser. Saving a layup there just by being there on the catch.
Rousey lost it, able to get it back. Hauser for 3, in and out. Good box out by Patton. And an easy rebound here for Foster. Thomas thought about the 3, passed up on it. And now turns it over. Telegraph that pass. Johnson the other way, gets held by Zierden. And it'll be 2 free throws for Juwan Johnson. Well, coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report, we'll send it to Rob Stone, Steve Lavin, Donnie Marshall in L.A. A Big East tournament preview. They'll discuss who's the biggest challenger to Villanova and the team most likely to play spoiler in the tournament. That's coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report. Juwan Johnson scored 10 early points for Marquette and now knocks down the free throw. An 80% free throw shooter. He's got 11 points there. Creighton Reinhardt comes back in. Justin Patton goes to the bench for Creighton. Zach Hansen is back in for the Blue Jays.
You know what I'd like, Justin, is Steve Wojciechowski's tinkered with a lot of lineups, changed the starting lineup, changed the rotation, and everybody stayed aggressive, and I think everybody, for the most part, has stayed unselfish. And that's not easy to maneuver for the head coach, to keep guys thinking about the team. And I think guys like Dwayne Wilson, Juwan Johnson, and Hanif Cheatham have really done a good job sticking with it.
You mentioned Hanif Cheatham. We haven't even seen him play yet today.
And you're talking about a guy in Hanif Cheatham that was on the Big East All-Freshman team last year.
Fisher just picked up his second, team 7th. So Kyrie Thomas goes to the free throw line for 1-1. There is Cheatham on the bench. Hanif Cheatham, 3 straight games, not doing much. 1 of 2 from the floor, 1 of 1, 0 of 1. His minutes have dwindled, no longer in the starting rotation. Again, pretty much no longer in the rotation.
Unfortunately, it's hard because at this time of the year, you want to accentuate your strengths. And what Marquette does best is shoot the 3. He's not a great 3-point shooter. And when he's on the floor, you don't necessarily have to guard him as tight on the arc. And so the spacing gets a little bit disjointed. But I still think Hanif Cheatham can come in and get other things done from a defensive standpoint.
I agree with you on that. Johnson, a deep 3. Air ball, Helt saves it. Howard splits the double team. Gets his own rebound. Lost it. Here comes Foster. Foster, coast to coast, off the glass, puts it in. 4 points now for Marcus Foster. Needs 15 to be the conference's leading scorer.
Good final push here for Creighton. They were down 11. They battled it back to 6 here.
Howard, shot clock at 10. In some trouble, gets rid of it. Johnson, another deep 3. Knocks down this one. Third 3 of the half for Juwan Johnson. 15 points as his family looks on. Zierden trying to answer right back. No. Hauser goes up for the rebound.
Find Howard, he'll hunt here.
So will Hauser. Howard has it taken away by Kyrie Thomas. And Thomas with the dunk. The long arms, the quick hands, and the steal. He's got 13, and that's a big play. And now a timeout taken here by Marquette. You said most improved, one of the best defensive players as well in the conference.
No question. The long arms, as you alluded to, Justin, with a big steal and dunk for the Blue Jays.
7-point game with 40.9 seconds to go here in the opening half. Marquette leading after that steal and the dunk by Kyrie Thomas. A timeout taken by Steve Wojciechowski. Was not happy with the turnover. Calls timeout to set up a play. And you got to wonder now, Creighton will have a chance at least for a final shot.
Yeah, that's what's so important about that turnover and dunk, is you get 2 points out of it and you assure yourself another possession. And here you got shooters towing the arc. Really tough lineup. Reinhardt, Hauser, Juwan Johnson, and Marcus Howard. I like Harrell matched up with Creighton Reinhardt. Reinhardt's kind of their playmaker, and Harrell can match him size-wise and athleticism laterally.
Howard finds Reinhardt. Harrell doesn't bite. Howard, Johnson for 3. Got it again. Number 4 in the half. 18 in the first half.
Outstanding execution. Great extra pass.
7 seconds to go. Foster against Reinhardt. Step back. 2 short. Rebound comes out. Heckner puts it up. Good if it goes. No. Juwan Johnson, the last 8 points for Marquette. 18 in the half.
Boy, what a play, Justin. Good play from Reinhardt. Extra pass from Howard. And it's been his afternoon. Juwan Johnson knocking one down.
52-42. Marquette leads at the half. We'll send you to Rob Stone, Steve Lavin, Donnie Marshall in LA for the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report. I could speak. Yeah, that's right. Right after this, a good first half here in Milwaukee. It is a 10-point lead at the half for the Marquette Golden Eagles, going for the season sweep over the Creighton Blue Jays. A hot shooting first half as both teams are right around 50%. A track meet here in Milwaukee. Welcome back to Big East College Hoops on FS2, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. As we get set to start the second half, it is 52-42. Marquette leading Creighton. Hello again, everybody. Justin Kutcher alongside Nick Baugh back here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I tell you what, Nick, we thought we'd see an offensive explosion. We saw that in the first half with these two teams. Yeah,
Marquette was outstanding. They really shared the ball. 13 team assists on 18 made baskets. Marcus Howard, 6 assists from in the first half. So you try and run him off three-point line, he's still able to make plays.
All right, so Marcus Howard wasn't scoring. The guy who was scoring on senior day, Juwan Johnson.
It's his day, right?
Wow.
I mean, what a first half performance. He came out really aggressive, set the tone, built Marquette a lead, 18 points for him, did it in a variety of ways, started from beyond the arc, and that creates closeouts, and then he's able to get all the way to the basket. That's where he's at his best. And this was a big one off a great extra pass from Marcus Howard. Juwan Johnson was tremendous in that first half.
18 points on 6 of 9 from the floor, 4 of 6 from three-point land. And by the way, he also chipped in 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And now time for our stats on the first half, sponsored by the Jeep Grand Cherokee. And the number that stands out has to be three-point shooting. The nation's best three-point shooting team is 9 of 16.
And it's just not one guy. You know, it's not just Howard knocking down threes. They've had a plethora of Golden Eagles knocking down threes. So it's going to be important in the second half for Creighton to defend the arc.
Juwan Johnson says, maybe at halftime? No, we didn't have halftime. It's now up to 20 points for him on the afternoon. And it's a 12-point lead for the Golden Eagles. That is the largest lead of the game. On the floor for the Blue Jays, Marcus Foster with a dunk off the feed from Justin Patton. He now has 6 points. He needs 15 on the day to be the Big East leading scorer for the season.
You know, you think about both teams doing a good job drawing up a play at halftime. Goodness, both teams get layups to start things out.
Mintz getting a start here in the second half, and a foul on the floor. And the foul will be called against Andrew Rousey.
You see Juwan Johnson. Look at Fisher slip, and that's going to create kind of the angle for Johnson to get to his right hand off the glass. So you got to vary what you do when you're a ball screen team. Sometimes you got to slip out of it. You got to set it, different angles. That's pretty good stuff from Steve Wojciechowski coming out of halftime.
That foul on Rousey was his second, team's first. Mintz having trouble getting the ball in. The only change in the lineup for Creighton starting the second half as he goes backdoor, and now he loses it off the feed from Marcus Foster.
That's the 10th turnover for Creighton. Had 17 turnovers the other night against St. John's. Ball security has been somewhat of an issue of late for the Blue Jays.
Fisher against Patton. Little jump hook with the right, puts it right over Justin Patton. And that's an area of Patton's game that certainly needs improvement.
Yeah.
His man-to-man defense.
Yeah, he's good off the ball. On help defense coming to blocking shots. Got to improve one-on-one post defense. I think that's where Marquette's got to continue to go.
Up for 3, no, and a rebound for Howard.
I'd go right back to him. I'd give Fisher a touch.
He was open, they missed him. Hauser with the left puts it in. Sam Hauser with 8 points. Thomas quickly the other way in transition. And that was old school Creighton basketball right there.
That's what they'll do even off of made baskets. They'll score in just a blink of an eye. See Patton working to front because he knows that if he catches, he's in trouble. You got to front to not even let him catch.
Howard, the floater on the baseline.
That little dude. What an
Says, now I
amazing-
can vote. I'll get the floater.
Is that how it goes? Second you can vote, you get that floater in you.
The floater, yeah. Buff trying to back down against Howard. They're going to call the foul against the point guard.
But you see Luke Fisher doing a good job, good on-time post-entry, and then he just takes his time. 2 or 3 peck dribbles, gets to his right-hand jump hook, and Patton just not enough resistance. And you got to run Hauser off the three-point line, but he's got a little more game than you'd think off the bounce. Tough finish.
Patton off the inbounds. Not a dunk, but a layup for him. That last foul against Howard was his second. And the team's second here in the second half.
Something Marquette needs to fight is just not thinking about outscoring people. The offense is coming so easy. Don't let that dictate the energy and effort on this end of the floor.
Foster tries to go baseline, cut off. Patton wasn't even looking for a shot. He'll look for this shot, though. Got it. Took a bump, no whistle. He's got 9 now. That's a 10-point lead. And Greg McDermott not happy. Pat Driscoll had to turn, look back, and almost tell him, hey, coach, be careful. I'm about to tee you up.
Could have been a 3-point play. Good pass from Kyrie Thomas.
Rousey against Mintz. Here's Fisher. Again, backing down Patton, this time with the left hand. It's too easy for him.
We did the first game. He's 8 of 9 from the floor on Patton in the first contest. I just don't think Patton can handle him one-on-one in the post. And you know a double team's not going to come because of the shooters.
11 points now for Fisher on senior day. Foster, step back, 3, no. Fisher gets the rebound. Here comes Rousey. Oh, thought about that 3 in transition. Instead, Howard all the way to the hoop. Too easy.
Well, what happens, Justin, is you sprint back and transition D to the three-point line, and it leaves the basket open.
Foster off the pretty pass from Davion Mintz, and Foster now with 8. But it's still a 12-point deficit for the Blue Jays with 16 minutes to go here in the second half.
It's like an old Western Conference NBA game. Suns, Lakers, or something.
Yeah.
Both teams.
Where's Tom Chambers?
Yeah, where's Steve Nash at? Goodness.
Bobble, Howard passed up a 3. Rousey will take it and make it.
Just so many shooters. It's unbelievable.
Foster going out. Hauser turns it over, forced it. Rousey up ahead. Here's Johnson. Missed the dunk. Thomas for 3. That's a big swing right there. An uncontested open dunk for Juwan Johnson. He just missed it.
This place is ready to explode, too.
Wojo just said, we're good. It's all right. Good hands by Mintz. Turnover. Patton the other way. He won't miss that dunk. And now a timeout by Marquette. And now Wojo's hot. A blown dunk, a couple of buckets, 10-point lead for Marquette. Big East College Hoops on FS2 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Here at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, it's a 10-point lead for Marquette. But, Nick, it could have been even bigger because this place was about to erupt. A breakaway opportunity for Juwan Johnson. He misses the dunk. And all of a sudden, a three-pointer for Kyrie Thomas. The next possession for Marquette, it's a turnover and a dunk for Justin Patton. And then a timeout. And that's a big swing right there.
You felt like with that Juwan Johnson dunk, Greg McDermott was going to have to call timeout. all momentum was going to be on Marquette's side. Instead, give up 5 straight points, and now all momentum on Creighton's side, even though they're still down 10. And all of a sudden, things get a little interesting here.
And if you read lips, Wojo's not happy.
Just be fluent in body language. You can tell he's not happy with that. Just a weak, silly turnover from Rousey.
Wilson finds Reinhardt against Hegner, goes baseline. Help keeping it alive. And it's Krompel with the rebound. Mintz with his head up. Good shot by Davion Mintz. Mintz, it was against this Marquette team where he had his first significant playing time of the season, and he had 17 and 8 in that first meeting. And now a loose ball on the floor, and I believe it's going to be a jump ball, possession arrow, Blue Jays basketball. So Creighton is putting together a run, a 7-0 run. And with that, they're back to within single digits. A lot of those are great jerseys.
I think so.
On the floor. 67-59 is the score here in Milwaukee, with Marquette leading Creighton, 14:07 to go. A look at the standings in the Big East Conference on this, the final day of regular season play. The top 2 seeds are official. Villanova is 1, Butler is 2 in Big East play. Creighton right now, if they were to win, they would get the 3 seed. But this is what's at stake. That's with a win. Now Creighton with a loss, 4, 5, or 6. Marquette with a win, they can finish in 3rd place. But that doesn't mean it's the 3rd seed. Marquette with a loss are the 5th or 6th seed. So what we're saying is there's a lot at stake, and we really don't know what's going on.
The one thing that you look at all the different outcomes, a lot of them arrive on these 2 teams playing again here in a little under a week in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I believe Creighton SID Rob Anderson said 14 of the 32 potential outcomes has Creighton playing Marquette in the quarterfinals at Madison Square Garden. Kyrie Thomas knocks down to 3, and he's got 21 points on the day, and it's a 5-point game thanks to a 10-0 run. And this is all coming after the missed dunk by Jawan Johnson.
Feels like the play of the game right now. Felt like Marquette was getting ready to run away with this thing.
Reinhardt for 3 off the back rim. Thomas with the rebound. Krompel can't handle the pass. And it's a turnover here for the Blue Jays.
Now, this is a great little display from Martin Krompel to be able to catch and not get the charge. Look at Dwayne Wilson in the middle, and Krompel's going to roll right down Broadway, be able to catch, not get a charge, and kick it opposite. So here comes the catch, the kick. You got shooters towing the arc. That's an amazing play from Krompel.
I know you're practicing for next week, but Broadway's in New York. That's
sorry. What's this? Well, give me the street in Milwaukee. I need
Kilbourne?
Kilbourne? All right.
Fisher. A good move against Krompel. And I don't know. I just know I saw Kilbourne.
I saw Kilbourne. I think that's where my hotel's at. Yeah, that's only. It's got to be a main street somewhere in Milwaukee, right?
Wisconsin Avenue.
That's a big basket, though, from Fisher to stop the bleeding here a little bit.
Turnover here. Hauser able to reach around, poke it away. Howard. Hauser. Skip pass corner. Good ball movement. Extra pass. Reinhardt hits the 3. Help the post.
And the 7th assist from Howard. Just in and out of his hands. Great extra look.
Back up to a 10-point lead. Mintz, too strong, way too strong. Reinhardt doesn't have numbers and wisely pulls it back. Fisher and Krompel are battling. Offensive foul against Fisher, and Krompel just baited Fisher into that offensive foul, number 3 against Fisher.
Marquette, 11 made threes. What an extra pass from Marcus Howard, and Reinhardt rewards him with a 3.
Welcome back to Big East College Hoops on FS2, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. 72-62. Marquette leads Creighton. Let's go inside the huddle with Steve Wojciechowski.
Our last few possessions of defense, much better. The game is going to be won on the defensive end. And this group has picked it up on day. Everybody's got a rebound. When we get a stop, we're down in our flow game, but we're playing flow with intelligence. Warriors with intelligence.
Well, let's see what the effort looks like on this end of the floor for Marquette, challenging his guys to defend. I agree, going to have to get some stops if you want to build on this lead.
Foster's step back is long. The rebound for Howard. Ronnie Harrell Jr. is in with Zach Hansen on the floor and Toby Hedner. Marcus Foster and Zierden for the Blue Jays. It's Howard, Wilson, Hauser, Fisher, and Reinhardt for Marquette. 10-point ball game. Wilson for three. Got it. Dwayne Wilson, who shoots it at 29%, knocks down the three.
Great possession. When ball got swung from side to side, a couple of good skip passes, ends in a high percentage look. Let's talk about Steve Wojciechowski saying, Warrior playing with intelligence. That was an intelligent possession.
It's an 8-0 run now for Marquette. They answered the run from Creighton. Shot clock down to 7 here for the Blue Jays. Hansen goes right at Fisher and puts it in.
Good poise from Creighton late in the clock, not to get sped up or force anything.
Howard, little crossover against Zierden to the hoop, goes back to the right hand.
He's been awesome, Justin. He's got 8 assists. He now is into double figures with 11 points. This is as good of a complete game as Howard's played.
And a foul against Wilson, trying to steal it against Harrell.
The ball getting swung side to side, and as Reinhardt's going to come off the screen, he's going to eventually find Dwayne Wilson in the corner here as he's cutting through. So take a look at it as Reinhardt's coming. He sees the skip pass because Harrell's in the middle of the lane there. Great skip, great find. That's where Reinhardt's size and vision is really tough to deal with.
How about this? Marquette's been called for 4 fouls here in the second half. Creighton has not been whistled yet once. And a strip here by Wilson. Wilson gets it back in transition. Kick out. Hauser, 3. Got it. It's a 13-2 run, but this play, Nick, exemplifies how far this team has come. Wilson got the steal. Howard tried to reward him. Wilson said, no, Hauser's open for 3. I'm going to hit him for the open shot.
Yeah, and that's what's really elevated this Marquette group, that unselfish mantra. And not only was it an unselfish look, that was a tough pass. Wilson's running full speed. And we had a great angle at it, Justin. That ball was perfectly placed in the shooting pocket for Hauser. What an offensive display from Marquette.
The lead is up to 16 with 9.5 to go. Remember, Marquette put up 102 points in the win on the road in Omaha back in January. They've got 80 with more than 9 left here in this one. Reinhardt for 3, short.
Speaking of short, every one of Foster's misses today has been short. I wonder if legs are a little bit of an issue for Foster.
Zierden for 3. And Reinhardt with the rebound. Fisher says, I could use a breather. Let's settle down.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to see Marquette 2 times in November. It's amazing how far Marcus Howard has come in terms of seeing the whole picture, being able to execute, share the ball. He's looked outstanding here this afternoon.
And now a foul away from the ball. This will be against Justin Patton. Didn't agree with the call. Pat Driscoll explains the reason for the call. That's number 1 against Justin Patton.
See Patton just pushing. And when you, it's a no-brainer when you see an extended push away from the basketball, did he get called?
Fisher, that was halfway down and it rolls out. Foster pull up for 3, no. And the rebound by Hauser.
You just wonder, Foster's been having logged heavy minutes, 35 plus the last handful of games. Had to run the point guard a little bit in the last couple of games. He just doesn't seem to have any bounce here this afternoon.
Again, those long arms, the quick hands. And Kyrie Thomas forced the turnover. We've seen Creighton able to make a couple of runs, get it to within 6, get it to within 5, but then Marquette is able to answer back. Do the Blue Jays have one more run in them?
If they do, Foster at some point's got to get going. I mean, he's too talented offensively to be this quiet.
He's got just 8. Huff for 3, got it. Big shot there by Cole Huff, who's got 8. But Foster's 4 of 13 from the floor, 0 of 5 from the three-point line.
Creighton just is going to have a tough time winning on the road when their top gun isn't firing. So you're going to have to maybe tighten up on this end, get some stops, get out in transition, get some easy ones, but stopping Marquette's been difficult.
Howard, the step back for 3. 14 now for the freshman.
Now, he's a guy that, you know, you asked before the NCAA tournament, give me a guy I should watch. Marcus Howard's a guy you got to keep an eye on.
A foul away from the ball. I believe it's going to be on Dwayne Wilson. Well, Marcus Howard and Marquette are leading 83-67 here in the second half. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with National Alliance on Mental Illness in their commitment to improving the lives of families and those living with mental illness. Learn more about how to be stigma-free and visit foxsportsupports.com. 83-67, Marquette leading Creighton here with 7:09 to go in the second half. And the story of the game the entire day has been three-point shooting of Marquette.
Yeah, 14 of 24 are the Golden Eagles, 5 of 8 in the second half. What I like about all these, all of them coming off of an assist. Especially, I love this last one. What a great pass from Dwayne Wilson to Hauser. When Marquette does a good job of sharing the ball, they're really tough to deal with. And, you know, my keys to the game were for Creighton to defend the three-point line. Well, Marquette's lighting it up from beyond the arc, and Marquette needed to feed Luke Fisher. 6 of 8 from the floor, 13 points. He's certainly put his fingerprints on this thing. It's just been Marquette's day.
Nick Baugh, the Nebraska State Sportscaster of the Year.
Thanks, Justin. That was good. That's a good $20 spent to have you mention that twice.
All right, so it's Creighton ball. Mintz trying to inbound to Foster for 3. It's short again.
I think it looks like he's just good. Doesn't have any elevation. Doesn't have any pop to his legs today.
0 of 6 now from three-point land. Wilson is trying to go for the pass to Helt. And now a whistle, jump ball, possession arrow, Marquette, 11 on the shot clock.
You know, now the final 6 minutes and 46 seconds here, certainly the game's not over. Creighton can make a surge, but I think this is important. These two teams could see each other again. It's really important for that mental game for Creighton to not just get totally blown out here.
Howard underneath, Reinhardt along the baseline puts it in. 12 points now for Creighton Reinhardt.
Marcus Howard, 1 assist away from a double-double.
They want them on their feet here at the Bradley Center, and the fans oblige. A career-high assists for Howard. Huff for three, got hit on the arm by Hauser, so 3 free throws coming up for Cole Huff.
Marcus Howard, he's done a good job of getting into the teeth of the defense and just reading it. So he gets in the middle of the lane, sees the back door, good cut for Reinhardt. And so you see the left side of the screen here with Sam Hauser. Definitely got a piece of his elbow there. That's just silly. There's something, Justin, to be said about good three-point shooting teams not just camping out on the three-point line when you drive. Sometimes you have to basket cut to not be so predictable. So Reinhardt's a good three-point shooter. Instead of just sitting in the corner, he cuts to the basket. Now you're kind of thinking a little bit on penetration defensively. So that's a good job by Reinhardt varying what he's doing.
Huff knocks down all 3 of the free throws. A 15-point lead for Marquette. Coming up on 6 minutes to go in this ball game. Turnover. Mintz into the corner. Thomas for 3. In and out. And a rebound here for Howard. And Howard, the 18-year-old, showing off his maturity. He says, wait a minute, we don't have to push right now. Time is on our side.
So I got to pump the brakes, know when to hit the gas. It was the first silly decision he's made all day on that turnover in the full-court press. Now make it 2.
And a foul will be called against Foster with 8 on the shot clock. That's the second against Foster.
And the issue now is Creighton's a very scouting report specific defense. They don't really get out and pressure. They don't like to get out and force turnovers. So they're kind of a team that has a hard time coming back from a deficit just because they can't dictate defensively.
Hauser for 3, in and out, and a foul on the floor. This time it will go against Cole Huff as he held Matt Helt. Number 2 against Huff, 3 against Creighton here in the second half. I want to bring up a point that you just said before. These two teams very likely could meet next week or this coming week at Madison Square Garden in the quarterfinals. And I thought it was very interesting talking with both coaches. Did that have any impact on this game and the coaching philosophy for this game?
Yeah, because you wonder if Greg McDermott didn't necessarily want to show all of his cards here in terms of maybe some different things that they could do against Marquette. But we asked Steve Wojciechowski that, and he said, to heck with that. You know, they're trying to do all they can to make sure they win.
Held the offensive rebound. Hauser comes in, got away with a walk, and the rebound by Krompel. Mintz. Krompel for 3. Layoff. Thomas passes up the 3. Underneath, Huff. Thomas lost the dribble out of bounds. Just getting word that Xavier defeated DePaul, so they snapped their losing streak. And that was a must-win game for the Musketeers.
And now Xavier will get DePaul again on Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden, so could make it 2 wins in a row just to help with confidence.
Rouse is back in. Reinhardt trying for the alley-oop to Fisher. Hegner blocked that. Rousey wasn't looking, and man, they're lucky Howard hit him with a pass. Shot clock under 10. Shot clock at 3. Reinhardt has to put the shot up. He does. Howard gets the offensive rebound. Reinhardt kicks it back out. Smart move.
That's 2 offensive rebounds when the end of shot clocks here for Marquette. One from Helt, and the long one there. An intelligent decision to choose some clock.
Rousey for 3. Krompel with the rebound. Here comes Foster. Foster needs 7 more points in the final 3.5 minutes to be the Big East leading scorer for the year. Otherwise, that will go to Josh Hart.
issue with Rousey and Howard. Good ball handlers, but they're not big, so sometimes they struggle to finish over length. But there, a nice little floater from Howard.
16 for Howard. Foster's runner, no. Krompel. Foster says that was an alley-oop.
Give him an assist.
8 points now for Martin Krompel. Back-to-back games with 8 points for Krompel.
This is as out of rhythm as I've seen Foster all year. Just hasn't had it this afternoon.
4 of 15. Shot clock to 7. Extra pass. Reinhardt, air ball in the 3, and a shot clock violation, and that leads to a timeout with 2:31 to go. Marquette on senior day leading 87-74.
Growing up in the Midwest, just everybody still watched the Big East. That was must-watch TV for me, especially the Big East tournament in Madison Square Garden. First time you walk in there, you pull the bus down underneath and you walk onto the freight elevator. It's just an incredible experience, and to walk through that tunnel the first time is something that you'll never forget.
And the Big East tournament begins Wednesday on FS1 from Madison Square Garden. Villanova, the favorites going in, trying to earn a #1 seed for the NCAA tournament. Wednesday, it all starts. And the matchup to start it off, a little rivalry game. Georgetown, St. John's. Not a bad way to get things going Wednesday night on FS1. 87-74 is the score here with 2:31 to go at the Bradley Center. Justin Kutcher alongside Nick Baugh. And the Marquette Golden Eagles going for the season sweep over the Creighton Blue Jays.
They've been awesome here this afternoon.
50% from three-point land, 14 for 28. Hebner for 3. And he got the roll off the top of the backboard. Wow.
Soft.
Shooter's touch. And now a foul against Davion Mintz with 2 minutes to go on Hauser.
How about this soft touch? Hegner all the way off the top of the backboard and still gets it to go down.
Just the 14th foul against Creighton. Rousey.
They got multiple ball handlers, multiple playmakers. Everyone can shoot, knock down free throws. It's a tough team to press in this type of situation.
Shot clock down to 6. Don't want to foul right now. And it's a turnover, but it's 2 seconds on the shot clock. So if you are Marquette and Steve Wojciechowski, you're saying, you know what? We took 28 seconds off the shot clock, and it was a dead ball turnover. So it's not the worst case scenario. Harrell, kickback. Thomas for 3. Kyrie Thomas doesn't get it. Hegner gets the rebound. He gets fouled. Now he'll go to the free throw line. And that's what you cannot do. Luke Fisher commits the foul. That's number 4 against him. As a senior, you have to know you cannot stop the clock.
That's a great play for Harrell, though. Harrell just was able to get a hand on it to keep it alive. As you said, it's just a silly foul. And just wall up. You're a 7-footer. Make Hegner finish over the top.
A 60.5% free throw shooter is Hegner. Knocks down the first.
Now Foster will check in on a made free throw for the shooter. And he can really set that full court pressure.
Here comes Foster for Hegner.
Marquette's got to realize they got 2 timeouts left. If you get in trouble, just call a timeout.
Well, 7-0 run here, and there is one of those timeouts taken by the freshman Sam Hauser. Marquette's had some games this year where it looks like they're going to run away with it, they're going to get the win, and all of a sudden they've given up big leads late. We've talked about the importance of this game for Marquette. Here are 3 teams.
Yeah, for me, I'm a top 50 win guy. You know, so I would choose that team out of those 3. That's who I would like. Let's see who I like. So I like Providence. See, and Wisconsin's an interesting team. I mean, they got experience. They went to the Sweet 16 last year, but they are going in the wrong direction right now, and only 3 top 50 wins for the Badgers. But Providence has done a good job when they've gotten opportunities against the elite competition, winning games.
A foul will be called here on the inbounds against Kyrie Thomas. A little hold there on Rousey.
Because Creighton's got so many fouls to give here, they can get uber aggressive and grab guys. And if you're Marquette, you got to be cutting strong and strong with the basketball.
And now, if you're the inbounder, Sam Hauser, you cannot run the baseline.
It looks like they're a miscommunication on whether they can or cannot run.
Oh, now they're saying they can run.
My understanding was that was only on a made basket, maybe on a dead ball foul. That means you can run.
On the floor, and now Rousey gets the timeout. Before a jump ball, which would have gone possession arrow for Creighton. Andrew Rousey signaled for the timeout, and they got the timeout. And that is the final timeout for Marquette. So as we take a look at these standings, just got word that Butler is leading Seton Hall by 8 points with about 6 minutes to go in that game. And here's a scenario. Creighton coming into today with a win, look at the 3 seed, and would play either Seton Hall or Marquette. With a loss, they're 4, 5, or 6. And with that, they play Providence if they're the 4th or 6th seed. If they're the 5th seed, well, I mean, I just can't
even figure it out. But
I have a better chance of winning the lottery
than figuring out all that stuff. You got to be like Matt Damon and Goodwill Hunting, like with the board, with all that stuff, all the different things. But I think it illustrates just how even the league has been. Villanova's been the clear-cut best team. DePaul has really struggled. Everybody else has just really kind of eaten each other up. And so it's amazing to think that Creighton, all things considered, finds themselves within shouting distance here. And now Marquette, no timeouts left. And Creighton still with 1 foul to give, so you'll be able to get really aggressive.
Now, I can say this with confidence. Hauser cannot run here.
I agree with you. I agree. Well, here we go. Patton active on the ball, 7 feet tall.
High pass, Reinhardt able to get it. And there's the foul by Foster. 109. 3rd foul against Foster. And it's the 16th foul. So the next foul, and Marquette will be shooting 1-on-1.
That's where you have to have a whole bunch of press breakers, sideline out of bounds, baseline out of bounds.
You got a foul here. Juwan Johnson back in for the first time since missing that dunk. He gets fouled by Harrell, so he'll go to shoot 1-on-1. This is to snap a 7-0 Blue Jays run.
And it's just tough because you got multiple 80+% free throw shooters. Howard's 90%er. Juwan Johnson's an 80%er. Rousey, 94%. Reinhardt, 87%.
It's a bunch of Nick Boss.
Rousey. What Rousey's done this year from the line is amazing.
You got to go now if you're the Blue Jays.
We have some urgency here.
Got to go. Thomas to the hoop with the left. No. Patton trying to keep it alive. Howard's got it. Got a foul. There's the foul. They took too much time.
Just a slow developing play, but you got to lay up and just didn't get it to go down for Kyrie Thomas. And we'll see if Howard can live up to the 90% billing.
Kyrie Thomas does have a season-high 21 points.
Take another look at it as Patton had an opportunity to tip in, but Hauser just keeping it alive, and smallest guy on the floor coming up with it. Then intelligently tries to get out of there, knowing that he's going to get fouled.
Timeout taken here by Creighton. 87-79 with 42.9 seconds to go.
I think in terms of that mind game that we talked about of these two teams potentially seeing each other again in New York, this game really could have gotten ugly. I mean, there were moments where it felt like it could have got to 20, 25-point lead for Marquette, but Creighton has continued to compete, which is important if they would happen to see each other again here in just a few days.
Let me ask you this question. You always hear that people say it's so hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. As a former player, how hard is it?
It's really hard. But you know what I subscribe to more is matchups matter. And Marquette is clearly a bad matchup for Creighton. And so, yes, it's tough to beat a good team 3 times. But when what you do offensively, defensively gives the opponent issues, I'll take that over just beating a team 3 times in a row.
Marcus Howard, 47 of 52 on the season at the free throw line. That's 90.4%. Oh, wow. A rare miss. Leaves the door open. Thomas for 3. And this will be Marquette basketball. They've had opportunities, back-to-back front ends of a one-on-one missed by Marquette, and neither time could Creighton capitalize.
Well, and did you see there, Howard fished and missed and went after a loose ball rebound, so he's the one that gave up then the advantage, 5-on-4, that gave up the open look, so he compounded issues there by trying to go grab a rebound.
Hauser to inbound, baseball pass. Foster going up, and he fouls Howard.
Boy. Marcus Howard, what a job just to kind of bounce out.
Howard just said touchdown. He came down with it.
Let's see, did he get it? Both feet in?
He did. That's a touchdown.
That is a touchdown.
That's definitely a touchdown. Mike Pereira just called. He says that the call, it is confirmed.
That's a heck of a play from Howard, because that was not a very good pass from Hauser.
Back-to-back misses. Mintz. Foster to the hoop. Misses again. Harrell puts up a 3. That's in and out. Thomas put the putback in a timeout here by Creighton with 14.3 and down by 6. But they've had the opportunities, and this is what's so rare, the fact that Marquette, a guy who's a 90% free throw shooter, is missing back-to-back free throws. They've missed 3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 front ends by an 80%er in Jawan Johnson. And then, as you said, 2 from Marcus Howard. So leaving the door open ever so slightly for Creighton. And now Hauser's been struggling to get the ball in.
It's a career-high 23 points for Kyrie Thomas on the day. But Marquette at the free throw line today. 7 for 13. I'm speechless.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, pressure changes things. I mean, percentages are one thing, but when you're in a senior day, you know you're on the bubble a little bit. And sometimes I'm not a fan. I know it's a little thing, but as a free throw shooter, I sometimes didn't love when none of my teammates were down on the lane for the free throws.
You're a creature of habit,
yeah,
right?
You like seeing the same thing, and I get what Steve Wojciechowski's doing. Don't want to get a silly foul. You want to make sure you get back. but you also need the 2 free throws. I always like to just see my teammates in front of me. This year, you're seeing that same picture.
You're also used to, slapping them 5 when you make
That's
it.
right.
They're not there,
forward.
you can't high-five it.
You're doing air 5.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, it's not good for your psyche.
Well, let's see here. Hauser. He can run the baseline. Make a good decision. .3 seconds.
Patton is on the inbounder. Those long arms. Rousey, the best free throw shooter, gets it.
I'll make you a bet. I don't think he misses. That's not going out on a limb either. That's like...
Well, it's not just that. The pressure's off. It's double bonus.
That's true. I bet he doesn't hit the rim. How about that? It will make it interesting. This guy, 94%er, man. 80 of 85 on the season.
And I guess that's pretty good.
That's not bad. Saw that rim? Hurt a little bit.
I heard something. I heard something.
Our effects
if it was
crew
horse, I'd say no, that's not good enough.
So here you just want to make sure you switch everything if you're Marquette on this made free throw. No fouls, contest, and rebound.
There you go. Oh, that definitely hit
his rim.
Foster all the way to the hoop. With that, Marcus Foster's got 10 points. He's going to come up shy, and he'll fall in the scoring race to number 2 in the conference. Luke Fisher clapping along the bench. Juwan Johnson, he's going to leave. Creighton Reinhardt, some hugs.
Got to get this one to go down, make it a 3-possession game, and be good to go.
Howard, who's missed a couple of free throws, returns to normalcy. And here comes Juwan Johnson off the floor.
He is really good today. Got to give it to Mr. Johnson.
Cam Murata comes off, a hug from Mojo. Dion Franklin replaces Creighton Reinhardt. The Johnson family's happy. Reinhardt, a hug from his coach. Creighton Reinhardt trying to go the NCAA tournament for the 3rd team. His family in the house. His dad. I love the dad's footwear selection.
Yeah, he has some Jordans looking good.
Mintz for 3. Short, and that will do it. 91-83 is the final. Marquette Golden Eagles defeats the Creighton Blue Jays 91-83. For Nick Baugh, I am Justin Kutcher saying so long from Milwaukee. You've been watching Big East basketball on FS2.